Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lifelens TV. I'm Jennifer Harrison, and the brilliant mind behind this deep dive into Kenya's current political and economic climate is none other than Peter Tosh Williams.
Dear friends, after a fully subscribed FPO,
Now, if you had thought that the Adani saga was cooling down, then you'd better brace yourself for more drama. This is a situation that's much more complex than we initially imagined, one that reaches into the very heart of Kenya's economic, political and corporate systems. And today we are pulling back the curtain on it all, laying bare every detail, every connection and every possible implication. We begin with the 104.8 billion Kenya shillings healthcare contract that has captured the attention of Kenyans. This deal is the brainchild of a consortium that includes Safaricom, one of Kenya's most prominent telecommunications companies, pple Limited, and Convergence Network Solutions. Now let's not just gloss over those names because each one plays a crucial role in this saga. pple Limited, the largest stakeholder in this consortium, holds a staggering 59.55% of this project. But who exactly is pple Limited? That's the burning question. And when we dig deeper, we discover that it's connected to a company known as Sirius International Holding, which in turn is a subsidiary of International Holding Limited, or IHL. But here's where things get tricky. Tracing the real owners behind these companies is like trying to solve a puzzle where the pieces just won't fit together. The shadowy nature of ownership behind pple raises red flags, especially considering that their stake in the Integrated Healthcare Technology System, IHTS, could allow them to recoup billions from the Kenyan government over the next 10 years. That's right. The Kenyan government, through this deal, will be paying monthly installments over the next decade. Now, what about Safaricom? Safaricom is no small player in this consortium. They hold 22.56% of the project. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Safaricom, while a corporate giant, has shares that belong to the government. So you begin to see why this deal has piqued the interest of many, including high-ranking political figures, and why President William Ruto's name is increasingly being tied to this saga. You see, when a company that's partially owned by the government makes deals with such far-reaching financial implications, it inevitably ties back to the administration in power. And that's exactly where President Ruto enters the picture. As Safaricom plays its part in this UHC contract, the Kenyan government, and by extension the president, has a direct stake in how this plays out. But there's more. The third company, Convergence Network Solutions, is a lesser-known entity with a 17.89% stake in the project. While it's not as big as pple or Safaricom, it completes the trio involved in rolling out this healthcare system. So, what exactly is this 104.8 billion Kenya shillings UHC contract? The aim is to build an integrated healthcare technology system. Sounds great on paper, right? But here's the catch. While this project could potentially revolutionize Kenya's healthcare infrastructure, it comes at a high cost. For the next 10 years, Kenyan taxpayers will foot the bill through monthly payments, funneling money into the consortium. And this brings us to the Adani Group. Yes, the Adani name is now firmly attached to this healthcare project. Adani, a global behemoth, is not new to controversy, and its increasing presence in Kenya is stirring concern. So, how does Adani fit into all of this? pple Limited is tied to Sirius Digitech, a company that recently formed a joint venture with Adani. Together, they acquired Courage.io, a significant tech company with the expertise to support massive infrastructure projects like this UHC system. So, not only is Adani involved in this critical healthcare project, but it's also positioning itself as a key player in Kenya's tech and infrastructure sectors. But wait, there's more. Adani is no stranger to Kenya. In fact, the company has been making waves with its other deals, including a proposed 30-year concession to run Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, JKIA, and let's not forget the ongoing negotiations for a multi-billion-dollar energy contract. The footprint of this conglomerate is spreading across Kenya like wildfire. But here's where things start to get uncomfortable for the political class. Behind the scenes of this saga lies a web of connections that should concern us all. Let's talk about the role of President Ruto's son, Nick Ruto, and his involvement in Denton's Hamilton Harrison Matthews, the law firm representing Adani in Kenya. This isn't just about business. This is a direct link between one of Kenya's most powerful families and a corporation with growing control over public resources. And it doesn't stop there. Adil Kawaja, the current chairman of Safaricom, also works at the same law firm as Nick Ruto. So what we're seeing is an alarming overlap between corporate interests, political figures, and national resources. Safaricom's role in this healthcare project, its partial government ownership, and the legal representation of Adani all converge here, raising serious concerns about conflicts of interest and transparency. So how did we get here? The answer lies in the strategy of public-private partnerships, PPPs, a model that has been increasingly used in Kenya to address infrastructure challenges. But let's not be naive. While PPPs can, in theory, offer solutions to public sector inefficiencies, they also open the door to privatization of critical resources and services, often at the expense of the public good. In the case of the JKIA airport deal, the recommendation to grant a 30-year concession to Adani came from ALG Global, a Spanish consultancy firm hired by Kenya's National Treasury. And here's the kicker. ALG Global's recruitment process was non-competitive, meaning that the firm didn't have to fight for the job of advising Kenya on the future of its largest airport. This lack of competition is a red flag for transparency. What's more, Adani's handling of public resources in other countries has come under fire. Just look at the controversies in places like India, where Adani's monopolistic control over critical industries has led to accusations of corruption and exploitation. If that's the case in India, what does it mean for Kenya? Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at a saga that's not just about healthcare or infrastructure, it's about the control of Kenya's future. When companies like Adani and Apiro get their hands on billion-shilling contracts, it's not just about today, it's about the next 10, 20 or even 30 years. And when political families, corporate leaders and foreign conglomerates all sit at the same table, the interests of ordinary Kenyans are often pushed to the side. But we must ask the hard questions. Is Kenya's public-private partnership strategy truly working in the public's best interest? How are deals like this healthcare project and the JKIA concession being scrutinized by our leaders and lawmakers? And most importantly, are the right safeguards in place to ensure that these deals don't turn into long-term liabilities for Kenya? This saga is far from over, and we at LifeLens TV will continue to monitor every twist and turn. As more details emerge, the connections between Apero, Adani, Safaricom and the Kenyan government will become clearer. But for now, the message is simple. Kenyans need to pay attention. These are not isolated incidents. These are pieces of a larger puzzle that, if left unchecked, could drastically reshape the nation's economic and political landscape. So, thank you for tuning in. Keep watching LifeLens TV for more in-depth analysis, investigative reporting, and the kind of truth that cuts through the noise. I'm Jennifer Harrison, and once again, all credit goes to Peter Tosh Williams for his incredible research and guidance. Until next time, stay informed, stay vigilant, and always seek the truth.